For those of you who have joined us for the first 3 episodes, you know the drill. This is episode 4 of the Wolves Coffee Hour, and much like the offense of Dean's baseball team, just hit after hit after hit for this show here, right? We just don't miss. Yeah. So, for those of you that have watched before, you know what to do. But for those of you who are just joining us for this episode as your first, you can ask questions by commenting live in the comment section here on this video live as you see them, or you can head on over to Twitter, and you got to tweet at Wolves Athletics, hashtag Wolves Coffee Hour. You got to have both, at Wolves Athletics, hashtag Wolves Coffee Hour. We'll sprinkle in those questions as we can. Ashley is helping us field questions. No promises. We don't always get to them all, so don't get mad at us, but we will do our best. And I just want to start off by apologizing. We had some really great guests lined up. Some stuff fell through, but we've got Dean and a couple players here. So just bear with us as we work through this. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this doesn't sour your opinion of the show, but we'll kind of get into it today. We've got former Mayville legend and current NSU head baseball coach, Dean Barry. And then this is kind of a little bit of a brothers episode. So we got the Chevalier Brothers coming at us from Florida. Yep. And then the Stubbs Brothers. So kind of a brothers episode. So we're just gonna, start off light. We'll start with Dean. You've hanging out around the house a little bit more than you probably have been. What have you been up to? Any shows you've been watching? Any music you've been listening to? Just give us a pop culture rundown of your life here over the last couple of weeks.
You bet, Adam. Not much. I'm not much of a TV guy, unless it's sports or old movies, maybe Sylvester Stallone's type movies.
Oh,
but yeah, so
love to hear that.
So I actually just kind of take up some projects around the house. Actually, Coach Boisner and I just took on insulating our garage. So we insulated it and sheetrocked it, and now we're mudding and taping it. So yeah, we're pretty busy up at the big house.
Little party palace, or what's the end goal for the garage there?
Well, initially
so much
it was just to keep the garage warm, but as Coach Boisner thought, this is kind of turned into a pretty fun little activity building that we park the vehicles in the garage or on the driveway, and we just have pool table and TVs and things in the garage. So we're still working on that.
Yeah, so much room for activities, right?
So much room for activities.
I gotta stop quick. Are we gonna go get a quick pump in here, Chevalier Brothers, or what are we looking at? We're gonna get a quick one in, quick workout, or what?
Intimidate anybody.
Yeah, don't want to intimidate anybody. That's fair. I'm a relatively huge individual myself, so you don't have to worry about me. But maybe these other guys kind of fragile, so understandable. And then we'll just go on over. Dean's got the garage, so we'll leave it at that. Chevalier Brothers, what you guys been up to? What are you watching? What's going on in Florida here?
Yeah, we've been up to. We're just trying to get into a pretty solid routine. From my perspective, I'm trying to get into the same kind of routine, like daily at this point. Whether it's like lifting or just like reading, maybe watching some shows. I've been getting into some Tiger King, some All-American. Never go wrong.
Yeah. Yep. Good call. Well, then we'll go on over to the Stubbs Brothers. But before we go, Chevalier Brothers, you might want to try to move a little bit closer to the router here for us. You're cutting out a little bit. But Stubbs Brothers, go.
We're just trying to stay busy and, not get bored as well as we can. But, trying to keep up the arm for me, like hopefully get to play a little bit this summer and stay in shape, and then school, but mostly just watching TV when I'm not doing those things.
What are you watching? Give me something here. Give me 2 shows. Give me 1 show each.
So I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then I finished Tiger King too. But other than that,
Okay, classic.
Yep.
For me, I'm just kind of doing reruns of New Girl and The Office, starting over again.
Nice. Can't go wrong
Timeless.
there.
Yeah.
How you guys? So I'm going to say, you guys, sports fans, we watched The Last Dance on Sunday. You guys watch it? Anybody?
We haven't seen it yet.
I missed it.
Chevalier Brothers?
Yeah, we
you
didn't see it either,
watch-
unfortunately.
Okay, so Dean,
Jeez.
Dean, did you watch
Bunch
it?
of baseball guys. They're watching
did
Twins
watch it.
reruns from like the
I did.
90s.
So Dean, Dean, even after the first couple episodes, can you still say that LeBron's probably better than Jordan?
100% I can. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I'm glad somebody agrees with me.
Yeah, I don't think it's that tough of an argument either. There's too many things that point towards LeBron. That's not taking away anything from MJ.
No, great, nice, solid player, a nice player you'd like to have on your team. But I think we can agree he's no LeBron.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, good.
That was going
we're all
to be
on the same
that was
page.
going to be my hot take, but I have a different one. But I'm glad you brought that up. 100% LeBron.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, before we get into our next segment here, I maybe have a question for you guys. So, basketball has the GOAT versus the GOAT. And if you don't, there's a few people they sprinkle in there, but the main argument is, LeBron versus MJ. Does baseball have a parallel? Does baseball have a kind of a GOAT versus GOAT argument? Is there a comparison that you can think of in the MLB?
I think most of that just goes down to a position. You know what I mean? You can't say, you talk about a pitcher being the best pitcher or being the best shortstop or the best catcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get into the Cal Ripken and some of those things. What's most important? Longevity, stats. I mean, all those sorts of things. It's a much tougher, much more involved conversation than the old MJ and LeBron.
And hard to compare eras, I suppose. Like Mike Trout would take Cy Young like 800 yards dead center. With all the advancements and stuff. So,
the best player in baseball history isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose, agreed. He should be
Yeah,
there.
Dean, we're on the same page here. We're really getting each other.
I knew there was something special about you.
all right, enough with introductions here. We're going to get into the next segment. And it's been a popular one, so you guys have a lot to live up to here. So, we'll see. I don't mean to overhype you a little bit. Next section, we tried this once before, hot takes. Each person has been assigned to come up with a controversial subject, and we're going to start with the boss. Not the boss of the show, that's me, but the boss of the baseball team, Dean Barry. You got a hot take for us? And I don't want to hear any MJ versus LeBron. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but then I thought about it some more, and it's kind of interesting with the company that we have here, but it's kind of near and dear to my heart. It's the football one. My thought is I think the Patriots should have to give up all of their championships for all of the cheating that they have done.
Oh my God.
And now that the Rams do have another Super Bowl under their belt. So that's my take.
I like that, Skip.
You're with me?
I'm with you there.
Agree. Disavow.
This is like the first actual hot take that we've had, and I'm not quite sure what to do with myself. I think I think the main argument against it, I'm going to give you the old Stephen A. Smith and play devil's advocate. But I mean, in professional sport, you have to imagine there's probably cheating at some level on most teams. So that's a slippery slope. Do you then disqualify? Just start over. Just start sports over. Cancel. No one has any championships, and just start over, clean slate. I think if that's the argument you want to make, I think that's the only logical next step is to just go. Everyone has 0 titles. I think that's it.
And I think that's fine, but also I just think there's so much more cheating that was going on than we even know about. We still haven't even uncovered the other things they've been doing. So yeah.
Sounds like a Rams fan.
Sounds just a bitter Rams fan. You overpaid for Jared Goff. They figured out McVay's offense down the chute, you know, kind of a reverse rags to riches, if you will, after they made the Super Bowl. So apologies for that, I guess. Rams
this take
fans.
shouldn't have come back at me now, Adam. This is about the Patriots, not the Rams.
You know, Dean, the reason why people keep coming back to this show is because of just the hard-hitting journalism. We don't pull punches, and you know, we ask the tough questions. So, you know, that's just the nature of the beast when you come on the show. I don't know what to say.
I'm finding that out.
It looks like we may have temporarily lost the Chevalier Brothers, but we're gonna go on over to the Stubbs Brothers. Either of you have a hot take for us?
Yeah, my hot take is that a hot dog is really just a sandwich, because it's just meat between a bun. Isn't that what a sandwich is?
I stood up and people saw my sweatpants shorts. Can't believe you made me do that.
I can't go all the way to sandwich. I can't go all the way to sandwich with you on that one. It's close, but I just can't do it. I can't. Adam, what do you have for us? It's not a sandwich, is it?
It's absolutely not, because I think that by definition, a sandwich has to have, you know, two pieces of bread, and by its function, at an essential level, a hot dog bun is one curved piece of bread. So I think that it's just not true. Austin, want to buy me some time while I Google the definition of a sandwich?
Well, I think I got something. If you go to Subway or if you go to Jimmy John's, you go to one of those places, it's the same type of bread.
That's a valid.
Okay,
that is a piece.
We used this as a source one time before. It's the official source, Merriam-Webster. You can't argue with it. It's the judge, jury, and executioner in terms of these kind of things. So, an item of food consisting of, count them, two pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other fillings. So you got the meat part, but I don't think you have the two pieces of bread.
So is it not a Subway sandwich?
I don't.
The Subway, it isn't a sandwich.
The sub.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
it is.
really good. It's a valid point.
Has to be
Adam.
two.
It is a really valid
It's a
point.
burger a sandwich then? It's two pieces of bread?
Yeah, that's a sandwich.
Okay.
Yes.
We can all agree on that one.
Yes.
So so we'll bring up the last time we went to the old Merriam Dictionary, we came out with the question for you guys: is cereal a soup?
Yeah.
I'd say no. I don't eat cold soup very often.
I agree with the no soup. Yeah.
Well,
But
I'm going to say that Subway needs its sandwich license revoked because that's not what they serve. False advertising. Yeah, fire up the old lawsuit machine because they're in trouble. And hot dogs aren't sandwiches. I think, you know, there's a lot of misinformation out here these days, and it's, you know, it's mine and Austin's job to, you know, fight the information, you know, the fake news out there. And we've got to do our best to, you know, counteract that, right?
Yeah, we're not Will Kane. We don't have a monopoly on the truth, but we all we're looking for here is the truth. That's really what we're here looking for. So,
yeah, yep. So hot dog, not a sandwich, and we're on to the next one.
So my hot take is that I think NFL will be the next professional or the first professional sport back after COVID-19. I don't think we're going to play baseball this year.
No baseball, no NBA. NBA's done too.
Well, I think isn't their season pretty much canceled?
Well, no, they're on hold for now.
Do you think they would take?
NHL's on hold too. NHL, NBA, and baseball are on hold.
So do you think that they would restart like where they left off, or do you think it's just kind of over?
I think as of now, I think they're planning on it from what I've heard. But it's not out of the. This is the reason it's a hot take. You could definitely be right. They could just say it's a season's a wash and the NBA, NHL, and MLB are done. So you think they're all going to say we're done and NFL's going to be the first season? You could be right.
I guess I wasn't really thinking about the NBA and NHL, but after we talked about, no, I don't think they're going to restart. And I think it's just going to be too hard to restructure MLB to a shortened schedule. to the point where it's playable. And then if they're going to have to do this, this whole in Arizona and in Florida thing, and then restructure the whole divisions and all that, I think it's just too much. And then does it even really count as a regular season then after that? I don't know. I just think it's just too much.
So if you think that the NFL is going to be the first sport back here, are you thinking fans or no fans? I think that's an important distinction to make here.
I think the NFL's fans. I think that NFL's going to struggle without fans. I think that's well, they do have all the maybe no fans. I think fans though. I'm thinking fans.
The companies that own those broadcasting rights are just absolutely licking their chops for sports to get going again, because they are just going to dominate those. It's going to be like Super Bowl commercials all over again. It's the cost on those commercials of those sports is going to be astronomical. Chevalier Brothers, welcome back. You didn't miss out on much. No, I'm kidding. Either of you guys got a hot take for us?
What are we talking? Are we talking just in general, or just funny, or sports, or what? Anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Any hot
kids. This is a kid show. This is a kid show.
Kid
so
show,
keep that in mind. That's really the only kid show.
Okay, Prez. So I was thinking like, does pineapple belong on pizza? Like, I've heard both sides of the spectrum. I just want to get your guys' opinions. Like, where our heads at?
Well, first of all, where do you fall?
I am absolutely not. It's a hard pass for me.
Absolutely not. Okay.
It's a fruit. I don't like fruit on my pizza. Bottom line.
Stubbs Brothers, where are you?
I got a question though for him. Has he tried it before?
I have almost multiple times. Like, I've had it from like Domino's. I've had it from like little small places that are like really good. So I mean, it doesn't agree with my taste buds. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm in on pineapple on pizza.
I am also. I just think I like pineapple. I like pizza. Why not just put them together?
We going like Hawaiian, the whole thing, like ham, pineapple, everything, or what?
Yeah, the Canadian bacon. Yeah.
Hey, I don't have a stance on whether pineapple should be on pizza, but just because you like two different things does not mean that they should go together, right? I like ketchup and I like chocolate milk. That doesn't mean I'm mixing them into some gross diabolical smoothie. Like, we just got to draw the line there. I think, it's something that, that's where I draw.
Sounds like a past little concoction you made there. Is there a past story we need to know about, or no?
Just an example. Just throwing it out there.
You just picture 5-year-old Adam just throwing stuff in the blender and just
don't remember a lot from that age, so it could have been. You never know. You never know.
Luke, does Pizza Ranch have the pineapple on the pizza?
Coach, I don't know, but I mean, I feel like the amount of times that we went there, I'm sure if it was there, we would have ran into it. But I'm gonna say no.
That was going to be another hot take, is that Pizza Ranch is the greatest place that's ever been put together.
It's the best.
Well, I do officially have to say, as this is a Northern show, our official pizza sponsors are Domino and Dempsey's. So, if we're going to talk pizza, we got to keep it to the sponsors. Those, I don't make the rules. Okay.
Love it. Good save.
So if you got a hot take, Domino's or Dempsey's, that's it. Okay, Isaiah, you got one for us, or are we on to the next segment here?
Yeah, so getting us off the pizza topic,
Thank you.
If you guys are familiar with The Office, which is what I've been in recently, basically my hot take is, say you are surrounded, or end of the world, right? End of the world, and you get to survive with one person from The Office. Who would you choose? And this might mean, everyone has their own opinion, but for me, it's pretty easy. I would choose Dwight.
Yes, absolutely. 100 times. 100 times. Stop the bear attacks?
Who are we going to pick? You going to pick Andy Bernard? You going to sail away or something?
Adam, why you
You're going to make a knot and you're going to be just getting all those zombies? You're going to kill them with little knots?
One person. This guy, Dwight, pure insanity. You don't have to worry about anything. Not a thing.
He knows all about bears. You never get attacked by bears. He knows all about bear attacks. I mean, yeah, Dwight, it's
killer
easy.
instinct. Crazy killer instinct.
Loyalty.
Here's the thing: if it's the end of the world, I mean, how are bears on your radar in terms of danger, right? We're probably worrying about zombies or some sort of environmental.
He knows about those.
First of all, I'm not worried about bears at all. The correct answer is Creed. The correct answer is Creed, and I'll tell you why. Halloween episode. He shows up. He's possibly killed a guy, so you know he can protect you. A lot of different things at play here. I think his dry sense of humor is much more compatible with mine. I think Dwight would get on your nerves, and I think you guys are on a team. You know that teamwork and getting along with the people that you're with is incredibly important. And I just don't think Dwight is he's not a role player. He would dominate the scenario. It'd be tough. You can't have two star players.
Adam,
gotta have a role player.
Think about it this way: if you've watched The Office and you see the way Creed acts in those episodes, honestly, as I've gotten to know him, I'd be worried about him killing me. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to survive with him by my side. I really don't know.
That's valid. That's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'd die before I get a chance to
I'm thinking Dwight.
We're gonna
got unlimited beets. That's food for life. I'm not a beets guy, but you can figure it out.
I vote Dwight was a great pick. I'm on Team Dwight. You can count me in.
Unlimited beats, Mike. I love that. Honestly.
Can we all agree that pretty much anybody but Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course.
And a lot of entertainment value there. Well, unfortunately, you guys are all wrong. So I'm sorry about that. But
agree to disagree.
No.
Yeah. Well, here, we're gonna go on to the next segment. This is getting out of control. We gotta, moderate, kind of keep it within the lines here. Kind of switching gears here. A couple serious questions, then we'll get back to having fun. This question goes to Dean. Dean, you guys are, somewhere between 10 and 15 games into your season. You guys get the news that, obviously you guys aren't going to be able to continue. Could you just talk about, the attitude of the team and how you approach that with your players in terms of, a situation that really none of you have ever dealt with before?
Yeah, it was pretty strange. And yeah, like you said, we've never dealt with anything like it, but how it all went down, it just went down so quickly. You're hearing things in the news and you're seeing things, but you're still playing games and we're still getting, figuring out what we're going to do. And at the time we're flying back from Florida, and we happen to move our Wayne games up a day. So we fly into the city, stay overnight. We're going to head to Wayne for our opener. And when we did that, I mean, we're on the bus and everybody's, of course, on their phones and checking Twitter. And all of a sudden it came across that NCAA has canceled the World Series. There's no College World Series this year. And it seemed to really get real when we saw that. And it literally wasn't 5 minutes later that Josh was calling my phone and saying, hey, turn the bus around and head home. And so at that point, then we had to figure out, when we're going to tell the guys. I didn't want to tell them when the bus was rolling, so we waited till we stopped and just said, hey, guys, this is what I know. The season isn't canceled, but all I know is we've been told to go home. And then it's just kind of left up for the guys to try and figure out what this means. And so it was a pretty rough time. It was I felt real bad for the team. I felt real bad for our seniors. And then especially when the news came that the season was canceled, it was pretty tough.
Yeah, and going into that, I know the conversation with the whole team, like you said, it's a difficult one. How specifically difficult was the conversation with the seniors? That one especially, I think, would be difficult. How was it so?
Well, unfortunately, the whole situation didn't give us an opportunity to really talk with anybody individually or in small groups. And we got back to, we're in the bus and they got the news, and then we got back to Aberdeen and we're being told to tell these guys to, hey, go ahead and go home for, at least a couple weeks. And then we haven't seen them since. You know what I mean? We've obviously talked with some guys, mostly all of the guys over the phone, some way, somehow. And so that's been tough too. It's just, it all ended so abruptly, and now we're apart. So it was tough.
And because, like you said, everybody it was weird. It was, a day, it felt like a flash, and everybody just kind of scattered because that's what, it's what we were supposed to do. How have you guys all been communicating, keeping in touch, preparing for next season with the group you have? Just kind of go through what you guys have been doing to get ready for next year and how you're communicating.
Yeah, we've done some Zoom meetings, but I've kind of figured that those aren't as good to really talk to the guys. We just started calling guys, kind of breaking it up between Coach Boisner and Coach Kraft, and really have real conversations to see how they're doing in class, if they need help, how are they able to work out, that sort of thing. And then the next step is trying to figure out who's going to come back. Out of the 12 or 13 seniors that we had, how many of them are going to come back and take advantage of that? And so we're kind of working through some of those things right now on what guys it makes sense to do it and what guys it doesn't make sense to do it. So some guys are graduating. Does it really make sense to come back for a full year of school? So anyway, we're just kind of navigating through that. And it's, from a recruiting standpoint, we need to know those answers before we can really dive into some heavy recruiting too. So all this is kind of taking some time.
For the brothers that were, obviously a couple of you guys are no longer on the team anymore. For the brothers that were on the team, what was kind of the vibe on the bus when you guys got the news? What were kids saying? How were you guys, maybe consoling each other? What was set the scene for us a little bit?
Well, so at the time it was when we were driving back. So the bus turns around, and then we all sort of knew that, the season was probably up in the air at that point once we turned around. But at the time it was still like, just like maybe 2 weeks, or it was what we were hearing, and just all sorts of different stuff. So like, it was kind of hopeful at the time, but I don't know, we just didn't really know what was going to happen. And then by the time we heard all the news, I mean, I was at home and so was everybody else, I think.
Yeah. Well, before we move on from these questions, we're going to, sprinkle in some fan questions here. Looking at the name here, Ben. Oh, former NSU wrestler Ben Fichter wants to know who hits the ball farther, Mike or Matt?
Matt. 100%.
All right. So, okay.
Yeah, I pitch and he hits, but that would be a fun matchup to see. I don't know. I think I could get for sure get them, but both of our prime, I think it'd be a nice little matchup.
Yeah, MJ versus LeBron, Mike versus Matt. It goes on and on, right?
Yeah, it does.
I check in to see. Oh, okay. Another one. We're just gonna rapid fire a few questions from Ben here. Austin's loving this. We got some wrestlers chiming in.
Love me some wrestling alumni.
And it's a wrestling question, odd enough, for the baseball episode. But who wins in a wrestling match, Dean Barry or Rocky Burkett?
I think I'm gonna go with Skip.
I gotta go with Dean too. He's gonna win.
Skip.
He's gonna slam
Skip
him.
all the way. Let's go.
All right.
I think that's.
He's a lean machine.
I think that's
the
blasphemy.
Coach, you forget.
That's blasphemy, I think.
Bro, every day.
Yeah, we see you working.
Every day when I'm working behind the desk, I see you every day.
Yeah.
People
I'm waiting for that opportunity to take on Rocky. That's what I'm waiting for.
I am a certified official, and I will happily officiate the match. We can line it up whenever we'd like. We can use it as a fundraiser. We can sell tickets.
I'm in. Let's
Charity
do it.
wrestling match. Dean's got like an offsite. Yeah. He does spend the most time of any coach in the weight room outside of the actual strength coaches, I think. So, and now Rocky does spend every day in the wrestling room practicing wrestling. So I think you guys are out of your mind when you say that he would win. No,
Adam, can I tell you that I was a wrestler through 6th grade, and I did win the Lisbon Invitational?
But I think them saying that you would beat him in wrestling would be like me saying, oh, I think Rocky's gonna take you yard in BP. Like I just don't think it's gonna.
It's not gonna happen.
Hey, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, bro.
I do have some pride too. Come on
now. You guys got me off my game. We're off script here. This one's gonna kind of go to the players a little bit. You want to talk a little bit about, you guys, I know Coach Fritz and the weight staff has been sending you guys home workouts. How have those kind of been shaking out for you guys? What have you guys been doing to kind of stay sharp?
So we have a decent little setup. We had a like a rack that we had that was just like tucked away in a corner at my house that we hadn't used in years, and we were trying to sell it for the longest time, and well, it's come in handy now. So
yeah,
just been using that and doing as much as we can.
Not to piss Conley off, but I haven't really done anything that he's sent me. Hopefully not. I'm not going to tell him that yet. I'm not going to tell him that. Basically, my routine, like every other day, is a lot of arms. Biceps, triceps, so once in a while I gotta get that leg workout in, just because you got it. But yeah, I don't know if you can actually see, but
oh, we noticed.
The good thing is, Isaiah, he's going to be gone before you get back, so this is okay.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Oh boy.
You just ratted yourself out.
Oh God. Question.
Okay, and we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier, so we can kind of skip over this a little bit, but so the MLB is proposing to have all their games in basically 10 different stadiums around, like the Diamondbacks kind of arena there. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it'll happen?
The Rockies facility? Excuse the Rockies facility.
Was it? Okay. Apologies. What are your thoughts on that?
Basically what I've been hearing, we've been getting emails just regarding what's going to happen. What I've heard is that MLB would typically start up, they'd get guys down there like mid-June. They were talking about mid-May, but then that kind of got shut down immediately. It just was way too early. And they were thinking of having a 4th of July startup weekend. And I mean, that's just kind of rumors. I mean, Rosenthal kind of released something on that, but from perspective for me, like what we've heard is that we just need to kind of like stay in shape, and then kind of towards that like August time, we would get down to wherever we get down to Arizona, and we would kind of have that like in the like kind of late August to like the middle of October, have a little like shortened season. We'd just get split up into our teams and then play, because we have plenty of fields down there. So we would just kind of just to get our work in, because I mean, I don't think we're going to go an entire year out. So that's just my view on it at this point. So
do I hear a dog coming from somewhere?
Yeah, we got a puppy.
Can we see the dog? Yeah,
I love dogs. Yes. That's why we're all really here. Well, is that an Australian Shepherd?
This is.
Yes.
What's
We
the
do
name?
have one more.
look at that big
Oh,
Briggs.
So
that's
we got two.
awesome. How old's the Australian Shepherd?
3 months. We got her
Nice.
literally the week of the quarantine, basically.
She's adorable. The lab,
Good
as
timing.
a lab owner, your lab looks like, is it a boy or a girl?
This is a boy.
8 years old.
2.
Oh gosh, dang
He's not
it.
quite 2, actually. He turns
It's
2
not
in
even
May.
close. He looks like labs go from being puppies to really old dogs really fast. It seems like he seems like he had a lot of wisdom in his eyes. I felt like I saw a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, lots of wisdom. Yep.
Okay, good.
Constant wisdom.
Good times.
Okay. Good stuff. We're going to go into some questions for you guys kind of on an individual level here. Chevalier Brothers, you guys were briefly on the team together. Do you want to each of you talk a little bit about what it was like to be on the same team as your brother? And then were you guys ever on teams before, or just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay, so it was kind of funny because the first time we were ever on a team together, I was 5 or I was 8, and he was playing up because like my mom and dad, they didn't want to split us up because my dad was the coach, and he's like, Isaiah can play up, it's fine. So he played as a 5-year-old in an 8-year-old league, so he's kind of just killing it from a young age. But I mean, to be able to play with him was really cool because I mean, being able to like grow, like watch him like kind of like really come into his own like through high school, and I was just super excited like and hoping that he would be able to come and play at Northern, just because I mean, not only because he's just a great player, just because he's my brother, and I just love to have him around. And I mean, you can only we only have like max 2 years of that, so I mean, it was well, and even though it was just 1 year playing together, but it was well worth it to be able to play with this dude. So it was awesome.
That was a more wholesome answer than I was expecting. I like it. Thank you for that.
You want me to badmouth him?
Well, I don't know. Hey.
I'll help with the bad mouthing. If you were tossing it to him out of 10 times, how many times does he take you deep?
0. Negative.
Hey, we can go back to that. I think Barry, you saw last year in the cages though, lives. I don't know if you remember that, but there was a ball that probably went about 400 feet over the batter's eye.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also remember boys are trying to hype me up, and I absolutely, oh my gosh, we're not talking about this. I'm done. Mike already knows I got so mad because all the hitters were hyping him up. It was like a sky high. It was a bit of an infield fly, if anything.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, a little hype.
We might have
Stubbs
to
Brothers.
We might have to like change. He has to go on his own computer. I can't be next to him if we're talking about this.
This is what we wanted to see, Adam. This is what we've been looking for.
Absolutely.
We wanted a little, brotherhood rivalry in it.
If we're talking about a little Fall World Series, shake it back to, I don't know, I think it was 2018. First AB against him. Every girl in the stands like, come on, Isaiah. And I just pay him 3 pitches down. We'll see you.
That umping at Noah Vreeman. At Noah Vreeman.
Yeah.
So Stubbs Brothers, give us a little on you guys. You guys played on the same team before. What? When? How did it go? If you did.
So since he's 5 years older than me, we didn't get a chance to really play growing up together or like in college because he was done by the time I got to Northern. But with town ball in Minnesota, we play in the summer, or we have the last 4 summers, I think, together. So we did one time play on opposite amateur ball teams and got to face one another. So
how'd that go?
I'm 1 for 2.
Yeah.
I'm 1 for 2.
That's a good percentage.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
We're doing all right.
Mike, we
take that every day of the week.
Good.
What'd you say, Luke?
We need to change that up, Mike. We need to get that.
Yeah, it's not fair anymore. I haven't swung a baseball bat in like 5 years, feels like.
Same question. How many times do you take him yard out of 10?
Right now it's 0. But in my senior year in college, out of 10, probably still 0. But if 20, maybe I get 1.
All right.
I thought he was going to say 10. Well, I just can't relate because, I was always so, just so far athletically superior to all my siblings. We were never even, close to the same age, but never close to the same level. So never got that chance, unfortunately. Just different worlds. My brother's been watching clips, so hopefully he sees that. There you go.
Luke.
Hey,
Luke, can you give us a little bit of update on what you've been doing or how it's been going since you graduated here at Northern?
All right, so about a month after I graduated, I was selected by the Rockies in the MLB draft, and I went and played in Boise, Idaho for my first year, short season. Had a really good year there. It was great. It was a great experience. The coaching staff helped me. It was a super easy transition from college and summer ball into pro ball. And then after that, kind of was like going back and forth from home in Sioux Falls to Scottsdale, where our facility's at, where we share it with the Diamondbacks. We have the larger share. I was down in Scottsdale periodically, basically getting acquainted with the facility for basically the entire off season. And then I was down there permanently in February until basically when we had the debacle with Corona, and everybody kind of got sent home. I saw the place down there, but I mean the cases down there with Corona are getting really up there, so I decided to come back to South Dakota, where I thought it was going to be a little safer, but I mean.
Hey, can I tell a little story about that stadium?
No.
Only if I can tell a story after.
Rocky Stadium. So this is Luke's first year, freshman year. We're down there. I got a buddy of mine, my college catcher from Mayville State, Darren Everson, is actually
hitting
the
coach.
Rockies minor league manager, a minor league hitting instructor. And so he was showing us the back fields of this whole complex. And we're standing over there, and I look, and I see one of our guys is laying down on the gravel road. And it's it's Luke.
Oh.
What's he doing? Is he? And it turns out he passed out. He passed out on the gravel road.
Okay, well,
you gotta
continue the backstory. You gotta include that I was extremely dehydrated and had a very bad case of mono that I did not know about. So that was.
Yeah, so we're driving. A few days later, we think he's fine. We're driving back. We're driving back from Phoenix to Aberdeen, and we're a few hours into the trip, and somebody comes up to the front of the bus, and they're like, "Hey, Coach, Luke's not doing very good." So we're like, "Well, what are we gonna do? We don't want to stop, right?" But we did. We stopped in
the sketchiest town in New Mexico.
Actual hospital. Yeah. Well, anyway, it turns out dude had mono, had the red shirt that year. That means we got him back for a fifth year. Kid gets drafted. It all worked out for the best. So
yeah, wild
yeah.
time.
We're gonna, sprinkle in a few more fan questions here. This one comes from Ben Root. This question goes to Luke. He said, "Hey, is Luke's minor league team one of the teams that might have its affiliation cut with the big league team? Is there any concern about that?" I don't know a whole lot about that topic. Do you want to field that question there if you know anything about it?
So what would happen is Boise is part of the Northwest League, and the Northwest League is one of the oldest leagues in minor league ball. So we would end up cutting what the rumor is they're going to cut the New York Penn League, and then they would cut the California League and a few other ones. I think one of the Atlantic leagues. So Boise would technically become a high A spot, and we would get rid of like Grand Junction and like a couple of like the rookie ball. So that wouldn't really affiliate or affect anything with me at this point.
Got it. Another fan question here for you guys. It says, with all this work from home time, what new tricks has Coach Dean Barry taught his puppy? That one comes from Jared Gower. Shout out, Jared. Let's go.
There we go.
I mean, we've got sit down really good. Sit. Yeah, Maggie's really got that one going. The love for me, for Maggie, there isn't a lot there. I don't know.
You're putting on a cold vibe, Coach. That just has to be it.
Well, there's no question I'm doing that, but we have an understanding. When I speak, Maggie does what I say, and other than that, she don't come around me much. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship we got going on.
Tough love. Tough.
Yeah,
love.
no kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, ask Jackson about tough love. He knows all about
Wow. And kind of while we're on story mode here, Matt, do you have a story for us? Maybe a little bit about your senior year. You know, I know Dean has a pretty firm line: when the bus leaves, the bus leaves. Has that rule ever affected you? And if so, could you expand on that, please?
Yes, it has affected me. Kind of at a big time too. It was when the bus was leaving for Arizona. Me and my roommate missed the alarms, and we ended up meeting the bus in Nebraska in my car. Left my car in Nebraska for 2 weeks.
North Platte, about 7.5 hours away from Aberdeen. Yeah.
Yeah.
North Platte?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much did you miss the bus by? Are we talking minutes, or are we talking like hours, or what's the deal here?
Well, we thought we were gonna catch them at some point, but we never did. So it was probably like it was probably like a more than 10 minutes. It was probably like 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. And that
awesome. I can appreciate that story. I have a quasi-similar one, so I can appreciate it. I get it. Alarms don't work. I'm totally on your side.
Yeah,
I'm totally with you.
That was it. That's it. So.
How did your mom feel about that, Matt?
Wasn't extremely excited. Thought I ruined my whole senior season. Was that I'm not sure. No, that was my senior year. Yep, that was my last year. Yeah, thought it was over. Thought I wasn't going to play. Thought I was pretty much cut. Thought it was a waste of my whole 24 years of playing baseball. Thought it was just completely done. Told me I was an idiot. Yeah.
I remember vividly my mom coming down into my room and being like, "Your brother is such an idiot. He has ruined everything." He goes, "We're flying to Arizona to see him. He's not going to play. He's not going to play."
Coach was generous enough to give me a second chance, though, or a third or fourth, whatever that one was. It was up there, maybe. So I have a couple of those stories at Northern, and I just, I like to have fun. Let's just leave it at that.
That's just the wisdom of Dean Barry, turning a negative into a positive and spin it into a life lesson, right, Coach?
Changing lives over here.
Coach, how did I do?
That's all you do.
Those first 2 weeks, though.
How'd you do?
Yeah.
I'm sure fine. You were my guy, right? You were my third.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I guess. No, I turned in the first week into a player of the week. So I did it for you, though. I did it for you.
Just because you were playing
because you were so scared
to stay on the team.
You were so scared. Yeah, you were so scared that if you didn't turn it into a player of the week, then it would be the last week. I have to turn this into a player of the week.
It was necessary. I had to do that, or I wasn't playing anymore. So
good.
It was for Coach.
Well, before we get into our goodbyes here, we got a couple more comments from coming in from Facebook. One of your guys' teammates, Tyler Harris, says, "Tell Matt and Mike, go Cubs, go."
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs.
Hey, Tyler, it's a live show, not a great format for inside jokes, buddy. Whatever, I guess. Do what you do, Tyler, whatever. And then another question is, Dean, it seems as someone is saying that, and I think you'll know who it is, you have a certain fear of a certain indoor pet. Do you have any comments on that? There are some allegations that you have a deadly fear of house cats. Any validity?
There's a
any
huge
validity to
difference
these
between
rumors?
having a fear and being severely allergic to them, and that's where I fall in. Allergies.
Coward.
Silent.
Coward.
Just sounds like a good cop out.
That's all I got. Just allergies. Can't do it. A lot of sneezing. A lot of breaking out.
Speaking of animals, Skip, do you remember making me pet all the horses at Spurs because I'm scared of horses?
Yes.
In front of the whole team, all clapping as I
The whole
touched
team
the
was supporting you. We're proud of you. You overcame. You climbed a wall that day. Knocked one down.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Well, on that note, that's gonna pretty much round out episode 4 here of the Wolves Coffee Hour. Thanks for tuning in with us. For those of you that want to tune in next time, you can tune in on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. We're gonna be talking to Coach Richard Gorski and a couple of the women's soccer players. Any parting comments? We'll start with Dean. Any words of wisdom for people in the coming weeks here?
No, just hang with us here. There's lots more to come from Wolves baseball as we keep recruiting and keep planning and looking forward to getting our team back together. And miss them.
And before we go to the Stubbs Brothers for our parting words here, correction, Tuesday morning at 10, not Wednesday, Tuesday morning at 10 to hear from the soccer team. So Stubbs Brothers, any parting words of wisdom for us today?
Not much. Just as Coach Barry always says, you got to make this the new normal. So just try to figure out a way to make it as normal as possible.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Stay safe, guys. That's it.
And Stubbs Brothers, sorry. I'm looking at my questions here. Actually, we got another fan question. Who is Matt Stubbs' favorite ex-teammate?
Ooh.
who's that from?
I feel like this is a test. This is a test.
Wow.
I'll tell you who it's from after you answer it.
Yeah.
I don't know this person, but they might be an ex-teammate. I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah. That's a really hard question.
Somebody's hurt feelings are gonna get hurt after this.
Yeah. Well,
The fact that you had to think about this long probably isn't going to help.
Yeah, it's making it worse. I think I'm gonna just pick. Oh man, I'm gonna go with my ex-roommate, Riley Shintaffer.
Oh, shitty.
Sorry, Chev.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's okay.
The question came from a Jason Hampton.
Oh yeah. Well, he wasn't a teammate, so it's okay.
Oh,
He's a coach.
Gotcha.
He's a coach.
Gotcha.
He probably
agrees. Well, what was that?
I said he probably agrees with me.
There you go. Okay, so I went 0 for 3. It actually is Wednesday. I got it right. Then I corrected myself incorrectly, and then now we're back to Wednesday. So we started strong, and we're finishing week here, I guess. Thanks for tuning in. Week 4. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And it's corny, but you got to finish the same way every time. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves. Go Wolves. Thanks, boys.